Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast. It's me, it's Rocky, it's Mark. Unfortunately or fortunately, Zach couldn't make it today.
Zaddy.
We're happy to be here, right? We're inching closer to the beginning of the football season. Couple things to take care of. We are going through a transitional phase, and we're not talking about puberty or
maybe that too
of that sort. But
gender reassignment.
We are going to be changing the look of the logo soon and the name of the network. We'll keep you guys posted on that, and also announcing our first partnership with Chalkboard HQ. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have more info on that later. But
as always, we want to remind you to watch our other show, listen to our other show, Guys on Draft. It's, I think, honestly, even funnier. If it's possible that we could be funnier.
Yeah.
We're funnier in that show. I don't know if it's possible.
It's darn tootin' hilarious is what it is.
It's a good show.
And it's wholesome. Bring your family.
Not wholesome at all, Mark. We ride the ragged edge of disaster every week, but you know, it's funny.
I say sit the family around the computer screen and watch it. What the hell?
Around the campfire.
Around the campfire. So
probably the TV screen though with the campfire on it. Do you do that around Christmas time?
No.
Get the old Yule log.
No.
Yeah, you get the
video
with
the
it,
music going. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that at our Christmas party last year. Actually,
yeah, it's nice. It's a nice touch.
It actually is a nice. It sounds like a nice touch. Maybe we'll do that this year.
Yeah.
So usually we have comments here.
Yeah.
And I was completely blindsided by Zach not showing up. I mean, whatever that's all about.
Yeah, what the hell's he even doing?
But I did see.
Is he going through a transition tonight? Is that why he's not here?
I mean, we'll see, right?
Yeah.
It could be. What? Yeah.
We may need to stop and do it on Do Not Disturb.
Okay, yeah. It's not on Do Not Disturb, but.
Yeah. Want to ride with it or no?
Yeah, let's ride. Let's ride.
Okay, so I'll have to take this part out. But yeah, we were taken a little bit by surprise that Zaddy's not here, and so we don't have.
Don't call him Zaddy when he's not here, okay?
Zaddy.
It feels worse when he's here.
It feels real when you say it and he's not
my
here.
Zaddy.
Well, what I was going to say is that I did see a comment on the A.J. Brown clip where we were talking about his numbers. There was an interesting back and forth. The guy who agreed with me, which, you know, Zach would have never pointed out. But he did say something where he said, I'm not buying it. Ryan Tannehill is a much better passer than Jalen Hurts. So he doesn't see like the uptick in production.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think your burner account was going back and forth with him.
Yeah.
That was you, right?
No. So I think that burner account is actually I think that's Zach's buddy.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, that makes sense.
Zach would never do that.
I got a fan, dude.
Oh, Condi you're talking about?
Yeah. No, because Condi I actually bribed him with some Chick-fil-A coupons this week, so I'm expecting some votes.
Piece of trash.
Yeah, he's he's doing God's work. He's a teacher, and he needed some prizes to reward his team or his kids.
Let's see if I can find any funny ones real fast.
So anything while he's doing that, anything interesting happened to us over the weekend?
I mean, you had your draft.
Did have our draft.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
It was
really pretty fun. I will say that it's
spirited.
There's no comedy like Pasquale family comedy.
I don't even know what that means.
It is
entertaining.
It's entertaining, energized.
Who was
one of the guys came there drunk, I'm pretty sure.
My uncle was probably the funniest guy, and
he's the funniest.
He's a Santiago.
In the middle of it, Zach and Josh got into a fight, and they had to separate. It was pretty funny.
Zach's a little sensitive, so
I mean, I kind of saw his point. But,
no, you don't know Zach.
So
you don't know Zach.
I mean, I feel like I do.
It's taking you a long time, huh?
Yeah, I'm not
really
gonna find
drowning
here.
over there.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just gonna give it
I
up.
enjoyed the debate because you kind of got disagreed with quite a bit on your take on the Packers.
On the Packers?
Yeah, people were saying that the Packers. You said that Aaron Rodgers wasn't 32 anymore, and people were taking
also, thank you for bringing that up because I have even more to say about that.
Please do. Is it bad? Wait, is it pro or con? Is it pro Aaron Rodgers or anti?
I want to give more context, but the point is that the users or whatever, the casuals,
the goddamn casuals,
are over there talking about Green Bay like it's just a given they're going to win the division. Guess what? My point was this. Yeah, and my brother pointed out, Tom Brady. Okay, number one, He's not Tom Brady.
He's not.
Okay, let's get that out of the way.
Nope, never will be.
He's better.
Number 2, he
Bullshit.
may be more talented. He's not better.
He's not even more talented.
You were starting a franchise.
He can't win in the playoffs.
Nope.
He doesn't
You were
win in the playoffs.
starting a franchise. You would start with there.
That's fine.
Definitely
Let me
not.
get to my point. He has. There's a bunch of unproven guys at wide receiver. Okay. Minnesota Vikings are undervalued. It's just like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins put up 33 touchdowns and 7 picks last year, and everybody laughs him out of the room like he's a scrub.
Yeah.
He's not a scrub.
Nope.
He's just a white guy that can't move. Okay. And then but
Statue.
we're talking up Matt Ryan like he's the next coming in Indy. But Kirk Cousins can't win with Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson, who everybody is willing to put their hat on the ground and say he's the best receiver in the league this year. But they can't win. They can't win the division. They're not more talented.
I mean, and we're overlooking.
It's a crock of shit. And what it is just people are lazy.
Get 'em.
Kirk Cousins bad. Aaron Rodgers good.
Yeah.
Look at the numbers.
Look
Kirk
at the
Cousins
numbers.
is good enough to win with Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson. And let's just talk. I mean, Adam Thielen's still there. I guess he's a scrub too. What are we talking about?
But I think that the issue isn't their offense in Minnesota. The issue is I need to see their defense come together because last year that's why they lost. It was not their offense; it was their defense.
That's fair.
So I think what people are saying is,
Are they
let's
saying
say
that, or
you're
are they just saying they're going to win.
well. Let's say that I kind of felt like the jest. I was reading between the lines a little bit, but I felt a connection with some of your deriders, and I felt like they were saying, "Easy, Phil, easy on white Jesus."
Easy.
Aaron Rodgers, he visited the hut.
I love
in
Aaron
Costa
Rodgers.
Rica,
Central
America.
Let's
he's
talk about
communed
that.
with the gods.
Oh, bullshit.
He's come back. He's like focused, like laser eyed.
The fuck he is. Aaron
His
Rodgers
defense
is
is better,
Aaron Rodgers is not an idiot, so we're not doing that.
and so he can like he can take a Lazard.
Listen, I like Aaron Rodgers 10 times better than you. Like, easily.
Don't give a shit.
I'm just letting you know.
Kirk Cousins.
I want to party. Like, wouldn't you want to party with Aaron Rodgers? Because I feel like we.
Yes.
I mean, you should want
Yes.
to.
Kirk Cousins is a consummate professional and gets put down on a yearly basis. Meanwhile, White Jesus, or whatever how you want to call
here we
him,
go.
is smoking crack in a cave in fucking Cuba. And
I don't think it's
here we
Cuba.
are, fucking
it's
Colombia,
Cuba.
wherever the hell he's
They
at.
don't have crack in Cuba, do they?
I don't know. He's probably fucking took it on the plane with him.
Listen, I love Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying they're not a shoe-in to win that division. I don't know how you could look at it.
Listen, in
Especially
today's
with
NFL, there's no shoe-in to me.
Not to mention
Well, I
that
think-
Chicago
Too much
went,
parity.
Chicago went 3-0 in the preseason
That's
and
right.
made Cleveland look like a bunch of goddamn clowns.
Put up the banners.
Yeah, I mean, you did win the preseason, and if you feel good about playing against a defense with none of our starters, I guess you want to take that championship home. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's kind of similar to, resting your hat on a team that won championships back in the 1840s. It seems very similar.
That's the Bears.
It is the Bears. All right, so we'll get to our first section of the show, which is pressing issues.
Pressing issues. What's the issues? If there's issues, we're gonna press them. Yeah. Come on, baby. Get ready. Come on, baby. Get ready.
We seem like the type of guys that would wear our
on,
own
baby, get
shirts
ready.
to our own podcast concert while singing our own songs. That's
You.
that's the vibe that we're giving
That's
off
what
here.
you would do.
Well, I think it was pretty
You
much.
wore your own T-shirt that you printed out on the show, so yeah.
I'm kind of more of a hoodie guy. I just like to,
You like to
comfortable.
cover up the boobs.
Well, the boobs for sure, but also just the comfort level of a hoodie. There's nothing quite like it.
Yeah, but it's Florida in the dead middle of summer,
I
right?
mean,
I think it's more comfort in your mind about your sagging body. That you just want to, so now you feel more confident.
I feel like we should do a show
Yeah.
with no shirts.
I'll do it.
Let's do it
And
now.
then we should see,
Yeah.
what
I'll
people
do it.
think. No, Zach's got to be here for that.
Well, I don't think we need him here.
Wow, what are you intimidated?
Yeah, it's him with his shirt off is going to look a lot better than the three of
Well,
us.
I
with our
think
shirt
you're
off.
afraid that it'll be like a before and after picture is what I think right there,
It might be.
Whereas
After-
you and I,
after what?
You and I are kind of like, I mean, it's maybe now and later.
No, this doesn't look good sitting down. But
know.
I'm working on it.
I know you are.
And
You are working on it.
he's trying to entice me to go to Miller's and eat a mountain melt and have 2 beers today. I'm like, Mark,
No one said anything about a mountain mount.
you don't go to Miller's
Can we be sponsored by
don't
Miller's?
go to
Because Mark
Miller's.
goes to Miller's a lot.
and order anything but Zinger mountain melts.
No, just the
and
zingers,
beers.
baby.
Well,
Just
whatever.
the zingers.
Okay,
Well, why don't we
that-
get to our first pressing issue and we'll
Zingers
talk
and
about
beers.
singers later.
Talk about a zinger.
It's just a tragic.
Mr.
Actually.
Brian Robinson caught a couple zingers in the lower extremities.
Wow.
Like 2 hours after I paid,
Yeah, you did. You
drafted
completely.
him.
And I was angry because I was going to draft him, and you got him. And thankfully, he did get released from the hospital today.
All joking aside, yeah, it's great that he's okay.
Yes.
And these are the suspects. If anybody can ID them and send in to the police, that would
Yeah,
be great.
guys, help us out with that.
Very clear.
Wow.
Yes. What
That's
I would
the
say
cameras we had
is
to work
when I
with.
seen this news, the first thing I thought of was Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
Right? What the hell's going on in Washington?
I don't mean to seem like an insensitive prick, but as soon as I saw the news, I was like, oh, shit, I got to go out and get as many Antonio Gibson shares as possible.
Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah.
Tracks. That tracks.
I think this is a big. I mean, it is a bump for Gibson, but I like what it does for McKissick more than Gibson because I do think Gibson's in the doghouse a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely, their values definitely shot up this week.
I mean, I don't think
Good one.
you let your bell cow running back return kicks. And I don't care what they're saying about how he's always wanted to do it. That's a load of crap.
Yeah, no, it's definitely bullshit. And it was going to be Brian Robinson's job. And it still probably is when
I
he
mean,
comes
Brian
back.
Robinson is bigger and faster.
Yeah.
And
Stronger.
he's stronger,
Better looking.
better looking. Maybe, I
So,
don't
do
know.
we know anything about the circumstances of the shooting, like where he
It a
was?
attempted robbery, and it sounded like he was near where he's living.
Yeah.
Which
In
in DC,
DC, right?
that's every other street.
DC's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DC's bad. I think they need to do a better job. I mean, it's crazy to say. I don't want to get political here, but maybe the
But let's.
teams. Maybe I'm just saying. Maybe the Commanders, which I actually like calling. I heard a caller to a show today called them the Commandos. I like that better.
Commandos.
The Commandos. Maybe after what happened to Sean Taylor. Maybe they. I don't know how you do this, but maybe you want to keep an eye or
Maybe you have like
try
a
to direct
secluded campus.
direct your players on places to live, or maybe you have a
Well, I
detail.
think, wasn't Sean Taylor was shot down here? I thought wasn't he shot like by the University of Miami because he was like at a function or something? I think
No,
he
Sean
shot-
Taylor was shot in his home, breaking and entering. They were trying to rob him. They
I'll
killed him in
figure
his,
it out later.
his
Yeah,
home.
yes,
I'm
yes.
telling you, that's what happened. It was
Was it his home here or home up there?
I think it was up there, but I could be wrong about that. But it was a home invasion. Yeah, so let's look into that.
Yeah, that's right. It is definitely a home invasion.
So Brian Robinson, he left the hospital today. So guys that drafted him, like me, it's not the end of the world. He could be back. I mean, he will be back. Obviously,
Miami,
it wasn't
Florida,
Miami,
yeah.
Florida. Yeah, well, that tracks. So well wishes to Brian Robinson. I don't know if there's much to extrapolate here besides.
I mean, it's not just about fantasy production, but we do want him to get better so that
it's
he
about
can
a guy
perform.
that we want to be able to play. Just just got
I mean,
drafted.
I
It's a
love
big
watching
deal.
him, and I hate Alabama, but I loved watching him. I thought he was honestly a pretty inspiring story. Stayed 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
His last year, he stayed so that he could learn how to catch the ball better out of the backfield. His senior season, he doubled his number of receptions.
Yeah.
It's kind of a success story. So you want him
Yeah,
to do
it's
well.
a cool story, and I think we could probably just blame Dan Snyder, right?
And Washington.
Yeah. Okay, so on to our next order of business. Jimmy
boy.
Garoppolo. They restructured his deal. He's the highest paid backup, basically, ever. Is that what it is?
He's the new Mike Glennon.
So I think there's a couple
Smaller
things.
neck.
There's a couple things.
Much
well, he's
smaller neck.
much better than Mike Lennon, right? But a couple things to ask here is, number one, do we think this is a move so they could keep him on the roster? Do we think they're going to move him?
I mean, if this is a move to keep him on the roster, then in some ways I kind of feel like Jimmy's given up because I think that if he wants to start and they didn't come to him and say, hey, let us reduce your contract so that we can broker a trade,
Yeah.
then it seems like he gave up because he would have been better off being
But
cut
we
and
don't-
picked up by somebody.
Sorry. We don't know if that happened, though, right? We just know.
we don't know.
I think they maybe caught him with the owner's daughter or some shit. To be quite honest, because today's the trade deadline, right? For to not take your cap hit. So they were going
Trade deadline, huh?
I was reading it the other day. There's some
It's a cut.
deadline
they had to
today.
cut him
and-
today, otherwise they got charged the full $24 million.
Yeah, and so they could either cut or trade. They found a trade partner, but it was within the division. John Lynch doesn't want to go within the division, so somehow they convinced him to take a pay reduction so they can still shop him around.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah. Which is what I hope, because I hope that there's a trade coming to the Browns or to Seattle. I don't think they're going to trade it with Seattle.
No, that's the one that John Lynch is adamant that they will not trade to.
Which, by the way, how bad does Geno and Drew Phil right now, knowing that they were about a second away from getting replaced. You
I
know?
don't know. I mean, he's a beautiful man.
Oh,
I
look at
think
him.
in that case, you
Jimmy,
can't.
Jimmy, call me.
Listen, it is what it is. If George Clooney shows up at your door
That's a young Clooney too.
and your wife wants to walk away with him, I think you just got to take
understand.
it on the chin. And that's
Yeah.
the same thing with Jimmy. I mean, they're looking in the locker room, looking at those ugly mugs.
Yeah.
They got to feel like, I'm not insulted by Jimmy Garoppolo taking my job or my wife.
Yeah, I mean, I think if my wife runs
Hot
away
take.
with Danny DeVito, I'm like, what the?
That's a problem.
But if
Either she hates you or she has a sick fetish.
if she leaves with Jimmy G, I'm like, it makes sense.
It's like you can't even.
makes
And
sense.
he could come back. You wouldn't be mad at him.
No, I'd be like,
Let's go grab a
can we
beer.
grab a beer later
Let's
and
grab
talk
a
about this?
Foster's.
Yeah, I'll give you some tips.
He's giving out the tips. All right, so Jimmy G. So I think, so if he stays in San Fran, do we think this helpful? Like, all right, there's the positive side where now you have a bona fide backup if Lance is terrible or if he gets hurt.
Which he
you got
could.
a guy that could come in and take you to an NFC championship, right?
Yeah.
In theory. But the other side is if Lance is bad, are the fans and the media going to start asking for Garoppolo to come back?
So there's the spin right there. So from my my fantasy football circle, I've been hearing today, Shani basically came out and said that Lance is still a work in progress and developing, and that he's on a short leash.
Well, I can tell you, and this is a hot take, and so Zach, I'm going to say right now, clip this because if you take away one pass, one 76-yard bomb that Trey had in the preseason, he looked pedestrian the rest of his series.
And I'll say this. I think if you take Jimmy Garoppolo, one 55-yard pass in the Super Bowl, if you take that miss away, I don't think they're drafting Trey Lance.
Yeah, and also the scuttlebutt is that Jimmy G, he had a legitimate issue with his shoulder that he was playing through, and that after the surgery, he looks like a different quarterback. That he's got zip on his ball. He's hitting the long throws better. So,
I was just going to say Shades of Baker.
yeah. Oh, no, yeah, it could be. You're right.
Zipping the ball and going long. Way to go, Jimmy G.
Giving tips.
Get in there, buddy.
Jimmy Collis.
Earn that
All right,
contract.
and from one quarterback to another, we'll talk about Mr. Lamar Jackson, Mr. Truss, Mr. Pooping on Monday Night Football, right?
I did try to find an angry-looking picture of him, and that's him. He's upset.
He looks sad.
He's upset because the scuttlebutt is
So let's not keep saying
scuttlebutt.
right?
Scuttlebutt. It's a good word.
I mean, but not, you can't overuse it.
Scuttlebutt.
All right, go ahead. Scuttlebutt.
I feel like this is like an Orson Welles program in like the 60s.
Well, the scuttlebutt.
Yeah, that's not how.
The Martians are
I'll tell
coming.
you.
The scuttlebutt is.
What's the 60s voice?
You're trying to just sound white, and it's offensive to
No,
me.
it's not offensive. I'm trying to.
Hey, how you doing
no,
there
no,
today,
no,
buddy?
No, not that. I'm talking about the.
It's deep, slow, and deliberate. It's like the Martians have landed. The scuttlebutt.
That
I don't
sounds
know what he
sexual.
sounds like, but he does. So here's the impetus.
Okay.
The scuttlebutt.
Yeah. So, anyways, the
Scuttlebutt.
rumor is what? The rumor is that he was offered $250 million, and
What's
he
a
turned
rumor?
it down.
Is a rumor like scuttlebutt?
Yeah.
No. I only know scuttlebutt.
Doing too much with the joke. Okay.
So,
Beating that goddamn horse.
yeah.
All right.
So people said that they offered that much money and he turned it down. He took offense to it, got on Twitter and said that's not true. They didn't offer that.
Yeah.
Then
Did they offer him enough if they did offer him that? Is he worth half what Mahomes is worth?
I think if the Browns paid Deshaun Watson $250, or was it $240?
240.
Too much.
Yeah, too much, $240.
I should have had the rim shot.
I think you have to say Lamar, who's won an MVP,
Yes.
should he get more?
He should, but not. He should be more than 10 million more.
Yeah. My take
He also is not accused of,
yeah.
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 rubbing his meat on 24 women or whatever happened.
At least he has done it
Talk about scuttlebutt.
consensually. And Lamar's known for zipping balls too, and getting long.
Here we go.
I'm going to say as a pure quarterback talent, and I know you guys probably won't agree,
I know.
Deshaun's better, but Lamar is a better fantasy maybe prospect.
I think
they're comparable.
Lamar can. I think Lamar can go out there and win you games. I know that I'll take heat for that. That Deshaun has done it in the past. I just think that Lamar is a better athlete. I think he's a better all-around quarterback. I think he has better vision. I think he's been.
I would agree.
Unfortunately, I think
One part of that.
I think that he has not had the greatest core of receivers either. A lot of the receivers that they've given him coming out, they've been quote unquote works in progress. James Proche, Devin DuVernay, Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown, even though he played at Oklahoma, I think it was Oklahoma, right? Played at Oklahoma. He was still one of those guys that wasn't running the route tree, like you say on a lot of those those big college teams that just walk through their competition. You say the same thing about Devontae Smith. He's a north to south guy.
No,
that's all Hollywood was.
Not Devontae. Yeah, I actually respect Devontae, but
I think
do say that about.
I think they're
Jamison Williams.
I think they're very.
That's it.
I think if you put them side to side like a tail of the tape, I think they wind up kind of evening out with two things making it different. I think you could say that, like you were saying, I think Jackson does have better vision.
Yeah.
Because I do when I've watched Watson play, he does seem to go off script a lot and find guys. I do think he throws the ball better, though. Watson is the better thrower of the ball, I think, overall.
Yeah.
Accurate or
accuracy, all of it involved.
Well, it's accurate, and he also has a good deep ball, too.
Yeah, but Jackson is a better athlete, more explosive, more dynamic.
Yeah.
I think the different. And so I think if you put those down, one for him, one for him. But you got an MVP, and you got a guy that's accused of
maybe being a sexual predator.
Yeah, so I think there's the divide, right?
You got an MVP and you got an STD. Which one you go with?
So I think that's what separates them. So I think it is a little insulting to offer him $250 when his peer is making double that, even though he has the Super Bowl.
Well, this is where it got juicy, in that some fan put a picture of him in a Miami jersey, and they said basically, you both can come down and cry in Miami. We'll take you. And
I like Jackson in Miami.
And Lamar liked it.
I like Jackson. Oh, he liked it.
So here's the thing.
That's the scuttlebutt. I want
to kind of piggyback off of last week's Ass of the Week and KD and like how his Twitter's gotten ridiculous. I don't know what to believe with Lamar's Twitter anymore. I don't know if it's him, if
verified.
It's these burner accounts. Is it the verified accounts?
I mean, they said it was.
Because I know that he does. He likes to defend himself, and I do not blame him whatsoever. He's always been big on, if you're going to talk shit, at least speak it to me so that I can set the record straight.
Yeah.
And it just seems like now it's a repetitive issue, though. It just seems like it's happening a little bit more too often.
But it's again, boy, I actually think Tua might have a decent year this year, and those fans are already done with him.
Well, it's
that's the way of the NFL these days. We give up on quarterbacks too quick.
Well, I mean, shit. They gave him a complement of weapons. If he can't do it, it's on him.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying this year? Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. All right, are we ready to move on to our next section?
No, we're not, because I don't believe you guys. I'm not letting you guys off the hook without this discussion first. What the hell is up with Brady?
What are you talking about?
He looks. Listen, dude. Listen, I'm a fat guy. I get it. Listen, I'm a fat guy.
No, you are.
Tom, mixing a burger. What is? Look, I mean, he leaves for 11 days. He comes back. He looks like a different man. What? He's thin and gaunt.
Have you seen the press conference?
Sickly.
No.
Get in the loop. What the hell are you doing all day?
I saw the
not
right,
working.
So what you're referring to is this man looking. He looks like he's Ra's al Ghul. He looks like he got in the pool of immortality, and he looks like he's 30 years old again.
I don't know why you're so jealous. 130 pounds.
I know why you're jealous.
I see what you're saying here.
Yeah,
something looks wrong.
The man looks good. This is called a jawline.
Yeah, okay? And you know where you get a jawline?
But he's always had
Dr. Miami.
Yeah.
The only time he hasn't had that was
11 days off.
Yeah.
I think he went in for some reconstructive surgery.
Hey, more power to
cool
him.
Sculpting.
So, all right.
Have you tried how to go?
No, I would try. I'm a little afraid. I heard it's painful.
Yeah, I've heard some bad things.
All right, so let me read this meme that I found today with this picture of Tom Brady and what he supposedly said to the media.
Over under on this being funny.
I've read it already, so I would say it's funny because it's inaccurate.
Okay,
so Tom Brady says, "I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on. There's no owner's manual for aging."
Which he did say that.
He did say that. Yes.
This feels like second puberty. No one told me the minute I turned 45, I'd become obsessed with World War II, Blitzkrieg, Dunkirk, D-Day. Fascinating. Have you ever heard of the show Breaking Bad? Just discovered it a few weeks ago. That was for the 11 days alone.
Mark finds it funny.
Yeah, he can't laugh at it.
Why is it that Walter White is poisoning little kids, yet Skylar seems like the bad guy? That's a lot to take in. I have to pee all the time, people. So yeah, I have a lot of shit going on. Next question.
Yeah.
I'm with him.
Yeah. I feel like that's a quote that Mark wrote. Don't you think? Can't you see Mark saying those things?
Yeah, I could.
I could do a lot better than that. Yeah. I should have written that.
Listen, he looks good.
But he always looks good, man.
He looks better.
He
looks. All right, so it's fair because he looks shockingly good.
He doesn't look shy. He looks gaunt. He looks sickly.
He doesn't look sickly or gaunt.
Listen, Jimmy G.
Look at that chin.
Jimmy G. Call me.
That's
Tom.
a
chin. Don't bother.
He looks like handsome Squidward is what he looks like.
He looks like something.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So we go to our next section, which is a new segment that hopefully will be carrying on a tradition week to week, and it's called Smash or Pass.
Smash! And mama, smash up, pass up, 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 smash up, pass up. You're either getting passed up or you're getting smashed up.
And the beautiful graphics by Mr. Rocco DeStefano.
We don't have a drop. Oh man, we should have made a drop.
I'm going to put it in.
And this is
Did you make one?
No,
AFC East edition,
I have one.
right?
Yeah.
See, right? We don't have to do this right now, right?
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I have one. All right. So, all right, Smash or Pass. The way this is going to work for anybody that's watching, if you stood around this long, I'm just going to make some statements, and this is the AFC East edition. This is past and present, so this is not just now.
It's hot as shit in here.
Yeah, it's hot. Yep, pits are getting some work.
I feel great in my hoodie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You're covering up the sweat stains. All right. So I'm gonna make a statement, and it'll go Mark, Rocky, and then I'll answer.
All right.
Smash or Pass. I'm sure everybody knows what it means, but for the uninitiated, smash means I want to do it really bad, or I'm really not that, but maybe that. And then Pass means
Swipe left.
pass. Okay.
Yeah.
So AFC East edition. Here comes the first statement. Smash or Pass.
I'm ready.
Zach Wilson, top 15 quarterback.
Oh, pass. Wait, in New York?
See, just smash or pass.
Oh, pass.
Yeah, I'm going to pass too.
I will also pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Dolphins still suck.
Oh, pass.
Yeah, I'm going to pass too. I think the Dolphins are going to be at the very least respectable this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to smash.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
No, if you think I should be pushed on it, you can.
Well, you deviated from the two.
I'm just
obvious
saying what I
Bane
thought.
trust here. So
you guys are smart. I'll
think
give you
you have
that.
to
You're
defend
professional and
yourself.
you're smart.
All right, why are you smashing? What don't you like?
I just
Tua?
think they're the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And I think I had to see it first. I think they will be better, but I mean, I think they're still going to kind of suck.
Meanwhile,
weren't
this
they
guy's
10
been
and
trying to trade me Waddle for the last freaking hour,
Has
and
nothing to do with-
he admits
has
that
nothing
he
to do with
thinks
fantasy,
the Dolphins
though.
suck.
Be productive on a bad. I mean, Deshaun Watson,
You could be
DeAndre
productive
Hopkins.
on a bad
Well, I think
team.
Miami is only 2 years removed from 10-6, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's fine. They're still Dolphins, though. Right?
All right.
All right. So, all right. Next one. Buffalo wins Super Bowl.
Smash. It's a smash.
So you believe it's going to happen?
Obviously, you go.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to in my mind trying to picture who I would pick to come out of the NFC, but
Does that matter?
Hey, just
Yeah.
smash or pass, right?
on paper, I think it's a smash. I think they have the most talented team in the NFL right now.
All right, pass.
Oh. Who do you think?
I'm not sure, but pass.
Just
Not
pass.
them.
Yeah.
You're taking. You're,
mean,
you're
you're
rolling
taking-
with the other 31
Well,
teams.
yeah, which
You're
is
taking
smart.
the
You're
odds.
taking the field. I mean, I don't
I
blame
mean,
it.
yeah, I have ideas, but I want them to win because I like them, but no.
Yes.
All right. Patriots make playoffs.
Oh, pass.
Pass.
I think I had to pass. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? If I can put a little point,
Not really.
this
Not with the game is-
Sure, go ahead.
two different coaches calling plays.
Yeah.
It's been a mess in the preseason. Mac looks lost out there.
Yeah.
I think they got to figure out who they are. and then they might be okay.
It's
but
Belichick. He's all about fucking sleight of hand.
Hey guys,
That's all that
hey guys,
is.
those bring something up. Shut the fuck up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Game is smash, pass. I push
dash.
it.
What
I
about
push
dash?
it. No, not that. We can add that later. Smash,
Real good.
smash, pass. And if I push you, then you can talk. Okay. We got a lot to get through here. Patriots have a wide receiver 1.
Pass.
At the end of last season,
Just say smash or pass.
I'm going to say pass.
Okay. I'm going to also pass. New York pizza.
I'm fucking smashing that
Okay.
like all day long.
Okay.
Can I smash it more than once?
No.
Like I can't just keep smashing it.
They didn't like the first time. No.
Yeah, I'm smashing
Disagree.
because it's pizza.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm passing.
oh jeez,
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey. New Jersey pizza. Okay.
which is not better. I've had a
Buffalo
Jersey pizza.
wings. Well, you haven't gone to the right place. You probably went to Sbarro or something. All right. Buffalo wings.
That's in New York.
Buffalo wings.
I found this great place. It's called a Pizza Hut.
That's racist.
Buffalo wings.
Buffalo, like from Buffalo? I've never had
Buffalo
them.
wings.
Just, well,
Just answer.
from
Nobody's.
where?
It's not the fucking combine.
Well, I'm smashing them from most places,
Okay.
but some places I'm passing.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
nuance.
Like
Smash.
if we're getting
There's
like,
not a lot of food I'm
I
passing
pass.
on.
I pass.
if you're like, hey, you guys want some wings from Domino's?
I
I'm like,
pass.
no, pass.
I
I've
pass.
seen you eat wings. I
yeah,
doubt
that doesn't
that.
mean. Well, that's all that was there because I never ordered them. I only eat them at your draft because that's what you get. All right, pass.
You eat like
Buffalo.
100.
Well, yeah, but I'm drinking too. I'm pretty drunk. Okay. New England clam chowder.
Oh, smash.
Yeah, it's pass.
Pass. I'm allergic. Okay. Cuban sandwiches.
Pass.
Smash and at Black Bear Kitchen.
Smash. Racist. All right. Belichick overrated.
Pass.
I'm gonna pass, but he cheats.
Pass.
Wait a minute. You're the one that says that Tom Brady's success is due to Belichick.
And
That's
is
true.
cheating.
Wow. Okay. Belichick overrated.
You
okay.
hypocrite.
You heard that. So Tom Brady overrated. Bill Belichick overrated.
Overrated.
Okay.
No,
So
I
they're
didn't say
both
he's
overrated.
overrated. I passed. I smashed it. I think he is. Or no, I passed. So I don't think he's overrated. I just think he cheats a little bit.
You have to throw that little.
I think you went the other way, I thought.
No, I'm saying
He goes
he's
both
not
ways. I
overrated.
think he went both ways.
Belichick is a great coach,
Yes.
first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay, all right.
However,
Then
he
I-
does cheat.
I misunderstood.
Okay.
Right then.
Reese.
Huh?
Reese. Do we know who I'm talking about? Do I need to say the first name? I forgot his first name. What's his first name? You know what I'm talking about. Jets running back. Reese. What's his first name?
Brees Hall.
Oh, Breeze.
Oh, why did I say Reese?
I
Like,
thought you were
where's he
talking
going
about
with
the
this?
candy. I'm like, smash.
right.
Brees
All right,
Hall. Brees Hall.
Brees.
Hall.
I'm definitely cutting that out.
So can I-
Brees Hall, fantasy stud.
Okay. Fantasy stud.
Smash.
I'm going to say smash, especially in a dynasty league.
I'm gonna say pass. Oh, but that's not fair. This is this year. I'm gonna say pass.
This year, I'll pass.
Rob Saleh came out today. He was really talking up Michael Carter.
Yeah.
I think.
Carter's still the RB1.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be limited a little bit this season. But dynasty, I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop politicking over there.
Bill,
Smash or
all right,
pass?
all right. Bills Mafia.
Smash.
Yeah, you got to smash.
They're
Oh, I'm
fucking
smashing all day.
They're
Right up there with the
hysterical.
dog
I'm
pound.
taking a little blue pill.
Yeah.
Smashing. Okay. Deflategate.
As in, did it happen?
Go where you want.
I'm gonna say smash it happened. Pass it shouldn't have happened. Yeah, that's all.
All right,
Pass.
Rocky.
Smash. Tom Brady's dirty.
Smash. Smash because you do what you got to do to win. All right. Zach Wilson did it.
Oh yeah, he smashed.
He smashed. What say you, sir?
Yes, he smashed.
Okay, I'm gonna say smash, but I will ask you boys. Do we think it was one time, or do we think this was an ongoing affair?
It's still going on. I
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think about it.
Well, think about it.
I think it was once.
Hit it and
It's a
quit it.
moment of weakness.
On whose part?
He was reading his Mormon Bible, had a drink, and then
Oh,
he
my God.
fell off the wagon.
I don't think it's only one of his mom's friends either. I think she's gonna have a very rude awakening next tea party, next book club.
Nice. Hey, you never know. I mean, he's a young guy. Okay, So we're getting down to the last few here. Next one. Dan Marino's hair.
Pass. It's thinning, man.
It's okay.
I think it's plugs.
I'm thinking Prime Marino, but okay.
Oh, Prime Marino
Yeah,
smash.
Prime Marino smash. Okay, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going to say smash. He had a
I'll say
certain
smash,
swagger.
too.
He had a
It's- I
certain
mean,
swagger.
It was thick and illustrious.
Yeah, it was a little Hispanic, Jewish-y
Yeah,
going
Italian,
on.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it was
a little
nice.
bit of a mix.
Little curl, little fluff to it.
And like his swagger added to it too. He was like, I don't give a fuck what it looks like.
It wasn't
I'm still
traditional-
smashing.
No.
Wasn't
He was kind of
traditional
the Jimmy
quarterback
G
hair.
of Jimmy G of that era.
Good-looking guy,
Good-looking
light
guy,
eyes.
yeah.
Yeah, he got that tan down
Before
on
him, it
Miami
was
Beach.
Joe Namath, probably.
Joe who?
Joe Namath,
Okay.
probably before, like that's every generation has their Jimmy G.
That's true.
So,
But Jimmy G had Tom Brady in his generation, so
No.
there's a little bit of
No.
conflict.
no.
I mean, think about that quarterback room. Imagine a woman walking in there and just getting
I bet you their clothes evaporate.
taken to town. All right. Couple more left. 13 seconds. Do you guys need to know what the reference is?
Yes.
Bills, Chiefs. Last year, 13 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
smash. That was excellent football.
I'm going to pass.
Why?
Because the game was won. I think there was some bad calls by the coach. It was a game they should have been able to take home.
I'm going to pass too because I just wanted to see the Bills win last year. And I was just tired of, just fatigue of the Chiefs. And
Yeah, Andy Reid.
I think they deserve to win. The plays that they made in that last whatever it was, I thought they deserved to win.
Oh, they definitely deserved the win. It was a great ending to a game, though.
Okay, and now the Wildcat.
Pass.
I'm going to smash, and I'm going to say that I wish it would come back. I think there's several teams that would benefit, or a reverse Wildcat, where if you're Lamar Jackson,
Sounds kinky.
you get a traditional thrower,
Yeah.
just to kind of mix it up some.
Okay, I'm gonna say you swung me a little bit. I'm gonna say smash. I think it'd be interesting to see if a team could work it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could work it into the game plan.
I bet you Zach Wilson did. Zach Wilson was doing a lot of reverse fucking Wildcat. I guarantee it.
Throw Josh Dobbs out there at the
Wildcat,
goal line.
Cougar. See what you did there.
Wild Cougar.
Yeah.
All right, last one. CBS.
Pass.
Nah, I'm going to smash because, it's,
Because you're old school. That's your people.
well, no, it's like 12:30 at night.
Hawaii 5-0, right?
Yeah. No, it's like 12:30 at night. There's no place else open.
That's like oxygen.
No, not CVS. Oh, the
Oh,
all-time
CBS.
idiot.
CBS, you're saying.
CBS, yes. This.
Oh, no,
How
no.
does CBS relate to the AFC East?
I don't know. How does CBS right?
Because all the AFC games are broadcast on CBS.
I think the only thing that network TV is good for is sports, and that's I'll pass because I think otherwise it's a shit show.
You're passing on CBS, you said?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I'm passing on CBS just because I think their football production is just so boring compared
so
to Fox
outdated.
NFL Sunday. It's very much like the rest of their programming for my grandfather.
But it is better than no football.
That's true.
Although I will say,
But this goes to the pizza argument. Yeah, pizza is better than no pizza, but
I get a little teary-eyed on Thanksgiving Day at CBS, though. CBS does a good job on Thanksgiving Day.
okay, well, that's fair. And that's it, boys. That is a worldwide renowned, very popular smash and pass. All right, so we get to our next section, which is Ass of the Week.
Ass of the week.
That guy's an asshole.
All right, so who's our Ass of the Week, Mr. Rocky? A guy very near and dear to your heart?
I don't want to do it because I feel bad about doing this. I think you brought it to us, so why don't you name it?
So Mr. Baker Mayfield was
What did he do?
questioned about his upcoming world war, if you will, with the Browns week 1.
Yeah.
Civil War, baby.
And he was asked, I don't know, you want to bring that up? Asked what he's going to do in his matchup with the Browns week 1. And he told Cynthia Freeland from around the NFL, I'm going to F them up.
Yeah.
And
How's this ass? This should be class of the week.
no, it's ass.
Yeah.
So I love Baker Mayfield. I love the edgy plays. I love all that
I like
stuff.
Baker too.
But
I do.
this is a guy who's routinely kind of put his foot in his mouth. I
Yeah.
think, what are you doing? I mean, I know,
He's
I'll
setting
let you
himself
talk
up for a
about.
grandiose failure is what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, Why do you need to say that to the media? What's the point?
They already
You know-
know that you want to go out there and F them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already said, I'm not a robot. I've circled this on the calendar. That was bad enough, I thought. And the media's doing their job. This lady was like, holy crap. He said that.
She got the quote of the week.
Yeah. But, they're doing it to the Browns, and you got Myles Garrett saying, no, I don't want to beat him any worse than I want to beat every team we face. So you got like class. Maybe Myles should have been class of the week, and Baker. Now I got to wish for 4 interceptions from you. Now I got to wish you go down in flames.
Setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
I mean, but to his credit, right? It tracks with his character. I mean, he was the guy who threw the spear into the Florida State.
That was cool though.
He, like
Planted the flag at Ohio State.
He's constantly
he
doing
flicked
stuff.
off the sideline against Kansas.
Grabbing his crotch on a bunch of different occasions. I mean,
But here's the deal. But normally he does it and then he looks bad. This was his chance. The Browns don't look great. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder. It's in Carolina. Like, he could have just shut up, possibly won the game, and then gloated with that smug smile on his face after.
Now he's got all this pressure.
Now he's got this pressure. I think he played his own mind game.
This guy plays better with his back against the wall, maybe.
He
You
does.
think that's what it is?
Well, he definitely does. He plays better with a chip on his shoulder. But you got to think even some of his teammates are like, why did you say that? Robbie Anderson probably was pissed. Steve Smith screaming, no! This is why I didn't want Baker.
Yeah.
Steve Smith.
A former receiver.
He's still involved with them, but he works for CBS or
Well, don't you remember
Fox.
when there was a rumor that the Carolina was going to trade for him?
Carolina.
The Carolina. He actually tweeted a video of him screaming no.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
It was remember that?
I thought that wasn't that Robbie Anderson? I thought that was Robbie Anderson.
No, Robbie
Or
Anderson
send it
also
on-
had something to say.
on Twitter. Yeah.
But
Good guys.
That's brutal. But I think Baker is actually going to go out there and F them up, though.
Well, I hope so after that statement.
I
'cause
hope
he's gonna
not.
look like
I
an
hope
idiot.
now. I hope he loses, and I hope
Night before gets himself involved in a little reverse wildcat.
I'm not hoping for a small injury, a high ankle sprain, but I'm not
You're not
hoping
not.
for that.
You're not
No.
not hoping for.
Yeah, I
it.
don't want like a bad injury, but if he hurts his ankle a little bit, I'll be okay with that.
So if he goes down middle of the game, are you
There's nobody else.
whoever?
PJ.
I'm saying whoever you're with. Are you going? Oh look, Baker's down, or are you saying, oh no, Baker's down? Which one?
Oh no, I'm saying you should have shut your mouth, Baker.
Oh, so okay.
It's definitely I'm rising off the couch at home and saying yes.
So more like the former.
And Trisha is running, saying, "What happened?"
Baker Mayfield.
And she's like, whatever.
Maybe so.
Walks back out into the kitchen and makes normal sized meatballs.
Maybe.
Yes. Good one. Inside. All right. So, let's move to our next segment, which is the new segment. We'll see if it lasts, but it's called
Grinds
Grinding.
my gears. Grinds my gears. Grinds my gears. Grinds. You know what really grinds my gears? Know what really grinds my gears? Grinds.
Grinds your gears, grinds your gears, grinds your gears.
Grinds. And that's what really grinds my
This
gears.
is a little segment where we're gonna, if we have something on our chest, our minds to get out, we'll
Yeah.
rant a little bit,
Yeah.
uninterrupted.
Yeah.
And I have something to bring to the table, boys, and you guys are both witnesses to it. And I'm gonna, and we have to preface it like this. You know what really grinds my gears?
What
grinds
grinds
your
your
gears?
gears?
Now, we had a little snafu in my league. I made a trade with another member of the league who's not here today, but usually is.
Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Not supposed to, but I guess you're just a rule breaker. Go ahead.
Who's the commissioner of your league?
I am the commissioner. Okay.
All right.
So now I
You
made,
vetoed your own trade?
No, didn't veto it. So
Yeah.
what happened was Mr. Marin, I'll refer to him Mr.
Zaddy.
Marin. Mr.
Zaddy.
Marin made a blockbuster deal with me for Josh Allen and his first round pick.
He did.
This
Now-
is dirty.
Now, so Mercy Street, I should have went and checked that he had the first round pick, but I assumed I trusted, which I guess I shouldn't have. So that's
On
on
you.
me. But I assumed that he knew the pick that he had. Okay, and I was very happy to get Josh Allen. So draft comes. He had the 11th pick. That was now mine. or so we thought. And I draft Treylon Burks. After he traded that pick to me, in theory, he then made another trade and acquired the 12th overall pick right after. He took Isaiah Pacheco. Good pick, okay? Before we even get the next pick in the next round done, we realized that he didn't have the pick. He had already lost it as a compensation for a restricted player. All that inside baseball stuff, I'll leave you alone with that. But he didn't have the pick. So we had to go back to the 11th pick. I had to give it. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to let the guy that really had the pick not have his pick. So I gave him the pick. He made the pick. Treylon Burke goes back in the treasure chest. So does Isaiah Pacheco go back in the treasure chest. Now, what could have been done was one of us had to lose our pick there, right?
Yes.
I said, I will eat it. I'll take a compensatory pick at the end of the second round. Zach asked me, he said, so you're not taking my 12th pick? I said, no, keep your 12th pick. Now, all the while, I'm thinking, Zach, he's been here for a while. Good guy, smart guy, man of character.
Soft-spoken, yeah.
Integrity. A guy with his wits about him could read the room, understand what's going on. Now, I said I would think that Josh would say, you know what? I messed up. I could have lost this pick right here. But the gracious, wonderful commissioner let me keep the pick. So, by gosh, I should just keep Isaiah Pacheco because that's who I picked originally.
Yeah, nope, that's not how it went down.
That's not what happened because it's surprising to me, and I think the rest of America, was that he went ahead and took the guy that I originally took and did not even bat an eye.
Didn't.
And I tell you what, I wanted to murder him on the spot.
What a twist of fate. In full disclosure,
Yeah.
My inner self fucking chuckled.
Yeah.
I thought it was it was pure irony.
The irony is great.
And I'm watching the steam come out of your ears.
Oh,
I'm watching
my
him.
God.
I'm watching him just naively stare down into his computer.
No, I
Yes.
don't think it was naive.
No,
I think he knew what he was doing.
Here's the thing.
He
I
was not
know
making eye
myself in that position. I don't know. I can't speak for you guys. If the shoe was on the other foot and the guy did that and it went down the exact same way, I let somebody else I would let somebody else draft him. I can't be the one. I got to keep I'll take the guy I originally took there. I think that's the right thing to do. He didn't do that.
Yeah, that's
And
what grinds
what
your
he
gears.
also didn't realize is he's made a lifelong enemy when it comes to fantasy. There will never be any goodwill shown. There will never be any pats on the back. There will never be a kind word, even. He basically, whatever bridge there was between us as far as fantasy goes, he took a can of kerosene, maybe mixed it with gasoline and a little bit of napalm, and threw a Bic lighter at it and just lit it on fire.
Are we talking about like a bridge in like 1700s?
Yes. So, full wooden bridge with a troll underneath it, which is his character. Go ahead.
So I'm going to say this, and I want, I really hope you go back and check into our thread
Yes.
for your league,
Yes.
because I'm chuckling now because I pointed out
Yeah.
after you made that trade
Uh-huh.
in the thread,
Yeah.
and I said, Zach, you don't have that pick.
I didn't see it.
And he said, no, I do. And so I want to
he-
gloat a little bit that I was right.
So he doubled down, but
He was
as
doubled down.
He
doubled down.
Well,
That's,
you're like the pick commissioner.
Well,
Well, we should just automatically listen to you.
Well,
You know
exactly.
where everybody's pick is.
Exactly.
that's fair, but
It's usually in your pocket.
This is another illumination happening right as we speak in real time. It's like reality TV.
Yeah.
So you knew.
I said it.
But hey. But
And he didn't
I
stop it.
didn't acknowledge, did I?
Yes, you did.
No. I didn't say, oh, you don't
Listen,
have the pick. No,
you were
no,
riding
no,
around
no,
with
no.
a chubby for
Okay.
Josh
Oh,
Allen.
shit.
You
I
had just
didn't-
gotten Josh
so
Allen.
you're saying I acknowledged that he didn't have the pick? No.
You didn't unacknowledge.
Listen,
You
we're
kinda-
friends.
you-
We're friends. We chat a lot. We text a lot about various things.
Yeah,
I
life.
think it's very easy to just say, "Hey, Phil, he doesn't have that pick."
I said it.
Just the same. No. To
I
me,
said- I said
no,
it.
to me.
I
Just
said
like
it
you-
in the thread.
you-
I said he doesn't. Zach, you
I
don't have a
didn't-
first round
I didn't
pick.
see it, and you didn't know if I seen it.
You're-
But
you're
you
kinda-
will. Hold up. You will text me directly to say, "Hey, We can't do. You're very astute. You told
were
me
busy.
we couldn't do.
You were busy.
Listen, you know what you did. Okay?
No, I didn't know what I did.
You know I didn't see it.
Dude, you're painting yourself to be the dude that films the car on the tracks with the train a couple miles away, and you're like, oh shit, let's watch this go down, rather than going and helping the people in the car out of the car.
All I got to say is Jesus wasn't respected in his own community.
Wow.
And I said it.
And you're disgusting.
And I was blown off. And so I'm like, you know what? Let the trains crash.
I didn't see it, and
Let the
that was
trains
spiteful
crash.
of you. And now you've built another enemy.
Wow. Did you think that you were going to get two lifelong enemies out of that
No, I
brand
did
new
not
segment?
think that. I really did. I mean, he's on the hit list, but I didn't expect that from Rocky. I gotta be.
Holy
I'm
shit.
shocked. I'm shocked and appalled.
I mean, you should have just read the thread.
Well, you know how crazy that thread is. I just didn't see it. Right? Everybody misses stuff.
Yeah.
How many people asked me the same question 17 times?
Oh, a lot of people.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you seen that I didn't see it. Very easy to say, "Hey, Phil, I don't think he has a first round pick," like you do with all the
No.
other stuff.
I didn't notice that you didn't see it. I'll be honest with you.
Okay. So then why are you bringing up like you're a good Samaritan over here?
Well, because a good Samaritan says, "Hey, Zach, you don't have the pick."
Yeah.
And I figured the commissioner would say, "Oh, let me check real quick."
Well, I didn't see it. So then when you seen that I didn't say that, you didn't think, well, he probably didn't see it.
I figured you were just blowing me off.
I figured that you just wanted to see that happen.
He
And
took
you know
the-
what?
he took the scorn girlfriend
That
approach.
is very spiteful of him because he thought that I fleeced Zach in that trade. So
Well, you
that's
kinda-
what this is all is.
Kind
You
of did,
kinda
didn't
did
he?
fleece
Kinda
him.
did, yeah.
That's fine, but that's what that is. So he's also spiteful.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're dead to me, okay? You might
I
as well
was-
be dead to me.
I was busy.
Hey, listen, just letting you know, you probably should have kept that tucked in the vest because
Hey.
dead.
I was busy trying to explain to
doesn't
Zach
matter.
why he got fleeced
Doesn't matter
in a
because
2 QB league. How you don't trade the number 1 QB in the league.
dead. Doesn't matter why.
That's a great segment. Holy shit.
We're going to our next section, Fantasy Rundown.
What the hell is a rundown?
What the hell's a rundown?
What the hell is a rundown?
You know whose voice that is?
No.
That's John Krasinski from The Office. So,
Exciting.
and
It's a good one.
We are doing the week 3 of the preseason.
That's right.
What? Oh, week
the third week, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said week 3.
Well, I did say that, but I think we all know what I meant.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
It's hard. All right. So
Ride like Hidalgo.
here we go. Last weekend, Sunday, we had our home draft, as we just stated.
Why do you say
So-
home draft? I've never heard that.
Home draft?
does that mean?
Because you're playing with your buddies. Like it's a home league. So it's
As
not,
opposed-
as opposed to like playing like in like cyberspace and not knowing anybody there. So it's a
this
home
is,
league.
This is you, though. Because most people just call it a league because most people just play in home leagues.
Oh, I've always known it as a home league too.
Because
even
you
at home.
play in like 700 leagues.
Well, now I do. I didn't used to. I used to only play in.
And you called it a home league when you were a child?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a home league.
All right. I believe you.
I mean,
I just never heard it.
I'm not going like overseas to play. I'm playing at home.
You're also playing the other ones at home. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, we had our draft for our home league. I'm just going to drive that.
Okay.
Followed by another one shortly thereafter. But point is that we're in that time of year, right? So everyone's now drafting their leagues against all their buddies. They need some fantasy advice going into this next weekend coming up, which is the single biggest weekend in fantasy football drafts. Yeah. Let's talk some strategy.
Well, go ahead.
All right. Let's talk about the turn. All right. Let's talk about guys with late picks. Let's talk about how you can nail your turn. All right. You got to come up with very distinct strategies here. There are two very different turns. You have the end of the first, beginning of the second, whether it's a 10-man league or a 12-man league, the 10-11 pick or the 12-13 pick.
Are we referring to snake?
Snake drafts.
Okay.
Yes. And then the second turn, of course, is you have the first pick, and now you're coming back for the second, third turn. We're going to leave that one alone for right now. That one, you're kind of screwed. Just, you're making your bed with your first pick, and good luck, picking your other shit later on. But let's talk about that first turn, right? There's a couple of strategies that you can go with here. I see that a lot of leagues are very running back heavy to start off, right? So you have a couple of options here. You can either hop on the train and try to get those running backs there at the turn. You're probably getting, RB7, RB8 there. Or you can try to get ahead of the curve here. And you can go and try and get a couple of the best wide receivers. Now, we are seeing wide receivers come off the board a little early, Kupp, Jefferson, but a lot of times Chase is still there. So you have Chase, Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Tyreek Hill. You have a bunch of these guys there. So what I want to tell you is that in these drafts, if you decide that you do want to get ahead of the curve, and since you missed out on the dynamic running backs, go ahead and get yourself your dynamic wide receivers to make sure that you're staying in that game. And then come back in rounds 3 and 4 and try to target some guys. Like Damian Pierce is going to be a little bit difficult now because Marlon Mack was just cut today. But try to target some guys there in that 3-4 turn. Guys like Damian Pierce, guys like Elijah Mitchell, guys like who I think is going to have a fantastic year, Josh Jacobs. Sometimes Zeke will occasionally make it back there. So I'm saying that you can wait on running backs and roll that dice. How about you guys? What kind of strategy you guys like going into the turn?
Well, shit, you should ask that before you just explained everything.
I know.
Well,
right?
I have another one.
That is my strategy.
That's just one of the strategies.
I'm gonna say what you did was well, I'll cut this out. What you did was good there, but you didn't allow us to jump in. So then you said everything. You know what I mean? Like, because I agree with you.
I actually meant to let you guys start.
Because
but I got all nervous.
What would have been perfect was to say what you said to get the 2 wide receivers, and then I would have said, well, what about now you had to wait 25, 26 to get your running backs. Who's there? I pitch you up for it. But all right, so
should we do it over?
No, that's good. I'm just saying we can run with it. All right. So I would say, me personally, just because running back is such a valuable position, I understand the strategy there. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, but just devil's advocate. It's hard. Like a guy like Elijah Mitchell, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of a track record, but you don't know what that really is. Like, it'd be great to have Chase, Adams, but then if I'm scouring the waiver wire all year, picking up guys just to fill in at running back, and for me, fantasy football, I don't know how you feel. I like looking at my lineup on a Sunday morning and having a little bit of comfort.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're playing that game, I'd rather have a Josh Jacobs and, name another guy in that sort of ilk and have this floor where I'm comfortable with than be scratching and scouring and worried about if this guy's going to get his 12 touches. And for me, that's too frantic. So maybe the other side, I don't know what your other strategy is going to be, but maybe you go running back, wide receiver there. Maybe you take a Chase and then the best available running back.
Which is very fair. So that brings up another strategy, right? Which is to go ahead and do that. So you take that best available running back. So right there at that turn, you're probably looking, Mixon may be available there.
Yeah, Mixon should be there.
Mixon may be there. Kamara has dropped a little bit. If you want to roll the dice on Kamara, because we don't know what's going on with his legal situation, but you could do that and then also pair it with a wide receiver. Or if you went the flip side, I don't know. I've done that strategy too, but I tend to bulk up. So if I do go running, if I go running backs there, I try to get my Mixon and my Kamara, thinking that I'm getting steals there, or at least deals for that late.
Yeah. Then
in rounds 3 and 4, you can still come back and get that next tier wide receiver, kind of like what you're talking about. So now you're looking at starting, somewhere around the T. Higgins, the Darnell Moonies, the Jalen Waddles, the Allen Robinsons of the world. You can still get those guys. So it's a matter of your comfort level. Do you want those stud running backs paired with some mid-tier wide receivers that have a high ceiling, or do you want to do a vice versa where you have those stud wide receivers with super high ceilings and then running backs? To your point, I think it is a little bit more difficult to roll the dice on running backs just because you are kind of wondering whether or not they're going to get their touches. So I can see that your level of comfort on a Sunday morning looking at your lineup is probably a little bit bleaker than if you have those running backs and then semi-good wide receivers.
Do you have a different, we've said a lot.
Not necessarily different, although I would say that this year, I think, in one of our leagues that we're in together, I did, and it's a long-term dynasty. I did not have good running backs, so I took some chances on 2 running backs that just got cut. So I auctioned and won Kenyon Drake and Marlon Mack, who today Marlon Mack was a surprise cut, which is shocking to me because he looked great. But anyways, thankfully, the strategy I use, and I think this year you're able to do it a little bit more, is that there's actually a lot of rookies that are going to have a position this year. So like I drafted Brian Robinson, James Cook, Jerome Ford. So I took Tyler Algier. I took some chances on running backs that, okay, I've got to cut now, Kenyon and Marlon. But I
don't cut Kenyon too fast. He was picked up.
Okay, good.
By
Thank you.
Baltimore.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Oh, there we go. So then, I should still have a stable because I'm like you. I think you can always find a receiver or a tight end that you can maybe put in that receiver spot. It's hard to find a running back. One thing you know is there's going to be injuries. Right now, Michael Carter might be the one in New York. If he gets hurt, it's all of a sudden Hall's job, and maybe he's the bell cow. So I tend to go with what you're saying as far as
so what's funny about that is I was about to make the same point. Like I do think there's a bigger crop of rookies
this
that you
year
can kind
is
of take
surprising.
a chance on later.
Yeah,
and one of them, like you said, is Brian Robinson, who we detailed earlier. But I will use that to transition to the next thing we're going to talk about.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, with the news about him now is a little bit in flux of what we said earlier, but the bump, does this give a real bump to Antonio Gibson? Are you willing to maybe trade for him now, or do you think this is short-lived? What's going on? I mean, it's hard to tell, obviously, with a shooting, but
I mean, he got shot. It's it's kind of scary.
And I think if what I read was correct, I think it was he got shot in the ass and the back of the thigh. So I mean, two larger.
Did they in the paper? Did it say he got shot in the ass? Because God, I wish it did.
They said lower extremities. I've seen that.
So no, I heard that he was. I saw
News
that he was
tonight.
Shot in the.
Brian Robinson got shot in the ass. Like I don't think that's how it came off.
So they said in the glute and the back of the leg. I do believe. Two larger muscle groups. It looks like it avoided all major arteries and everything of that nature. So hopefully just like a lot of soft tissue damage and maybe a little bit of rehab and he'll be up and going mid-season. Let's hope.
Well, I think we heard today that they're thinking he might be back week 1.
Yeah, they actually said there's an outside chance he could be back, which is shocking to me.
That is crazy.
Which I wouldn't expect that, but if they're saying he might be back for week 1, then I could assume that he higher chance he'll be back for week 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So he was shot with buckshot, apparently.
Well, and I think, you kind of mentioned this before the show, but
that stings.
I think Antonio really, legitimately is in the doghouse. He fumbled a lot last year,
100%.
his first possession. This year in preseason, he fumbled. You don't put a back that you love to return kicks in the preseason. So I think J.D. McKissick is going to be somebody who also gets a fair number.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll put this question to you because this is a better question than what we started with. I think it's Antonio Gibson. Is it a guy that you try to trade for, or is it a guy that while this news is hot right now, do you trade?
So I'm going against the tide here, and I'm actually trying to pick him up.
Okay.
Because I know that a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
But how many times in the past have we heard during training camp, oh, this guy's he's shit out of luck. This new guy coming in, he's not going to get any touches. Then they blow up. Mm-hmm. I think there might be a little bit of that here, right?
Okay.
I don't doubt that Brian Robinson is definitely going to vulture some goal line work, but I think that Antonio is a very dynamic playmaker. I don't see them keeping him off the field. I think McKissick will be your third down back. I think he's got the surest of all of their hands.
Okay.
But I think Antonio is going to get a lot of looks reception-wise on first and second down.
So, real question, just to go off what you said, how many times in those cases that we've had of guys getting kind of downplayed in the preseason and blowing up, how many of them ran special teams?
It's a good point. Every once in a while, you do see it. I think now with Brian Robinson being, with the injury that he sustained, I don't think Antonio's going to be out there on special teams.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I mean, and honestly, how many times have guys? I mean, we just watched a goddamn defensive back kick an extra point. You know what I mean? Like, how many times do they let guys get out there and just kind of trial things to see if they work during the preseason? Right?
I would argue though that a guy like Gibson, if if they're thinking of him the way you're insinuating,
That they wouldn't.
why
risk-
would they risk him there? You know, and the fumbling thing is an issue. Like a lot with running backs specifically. The only time I really remember a running back having true fumbling issues and bouncing back is Tiki Barber. Is a guy that comes to mind.
Amon Green is another one.
Amon Green is another, but that's. I mean, we're talking like the last 30 years.
Do you feel like perhaps they put Antonio on kick returns
a
because
punishment?
their quarterback is Carson Wentz and they realize that they're not legitimate? I mean, is it possible that they're just like, this season's a wash?
Well, listen,
put them. You want a kick return? Go ahead.
I like what you did there.
You're gonna give me a chance. I want to go on a little rant here, and this is but that just made me think of something I was thinking about earlier
You've
today.
been ranting a lot tonight.
Listen,
you made two enemies.
I've been trying to think about the show more during the week to have things prepared, or just what I'm thinking, because sometimes I show up and it's like I had to gather it, but I've been thinking about it. So I was getting killed on socials about picking the Giants. Now, I know the Giants. I mean, it is an unpopular pick. I get that, but looking at the division, they're looking at Washington and saying because Carson Wentz was the 29th most accurate quarterback in the NFL last year. His guy Frank Reich ushered him out of that building as fast as he could
and apologize to the owner.
Yeah, and then they bring him in to Washington, and now we think Washington is a legitimate contender. Not saying you guys do, but a lot of people do. A lot of people have them better than the Giants. Okay, that's fair. Not really, but okay. Then I look at Philly. On paper, a lot of talent, but we've seen that go south before. I'm not saying it is. Jalen Hurts is not a proven commodity at all. They had a new coach last year. A new strat, the run game, but that got shut down middle of the season. They forced Jalen to pass, and they kind of blew up in their face.
This sounds a lot like grinding gears.
Listen, it is a little bit, but I'm just saying it's the same point I had with Green Bay and the Vikings.
What about the Dallas Cowboys?
I'm getting there. The Dallas Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb did not show me last year that he's a wide receiver one.
No, we did not.
They're banged up at the wide receiver position, and guess what?
It's because he wasn't a wide receiver one.
The second, I know, but I'm saying he's not, and he is this year. But
He will
he's
be.
not. We'll see. I'm not saying he's not going to
And
be.
I don't
but
like
we'll-
the Cowboys, but he will.
Okay,
well,
he's gonna.
he's
gonna.
got him on every team.
Well, I'm saying I'm not saying he. You
wish I could,
I got to see it. I'm just all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I got to see it with if Michael Gallup's the guy that's banged up now, but he's going to be the guy on the other side. Is he going to be able to do what he has to do? We'll see. But aside from that, you got a guy, Ezekiel Elliott, who's another year older, and I don't think he's the same guy he was. Tony Pollard, okay. Dalton Schultz, okay.
The Lions looked really
The
bad.
second most important player on that team is out till probably the end of the season. They're going to have an issue with Tyron Smith not playing. They're going to have a big issue. Dak is not Lamar Jackson. Dak is not Deshaun Watson. He's not going to create. He's not that guy that you could take the best play, basically the best player in that franchise, for that franchise, and expect him to lift the rest of the team. I don't see that.
No. And I think that was evident last year in their playoff loss. I mean, he couldn't even gather his team together to get up to the line of scrimmage despite the ball.
But my point is, now, does that mean they're not going to win the division? I don't know. What I'm saying is I don't know. And on paper,
Very profound.
I think, what I'm saying is on paper, the Giants, talent-wise, are neck and neck with anybody else in the division.
I agree. I also took the Giants to win that division.
And with Brian Daboll there, now if he flounders, it's a different story. But everything you're hearing from people around the league is that he's this guy. He did this with Josh Allen. I had a screenshot I took of showing Josh Allen's comparables in his first 36 games with Daniel Jones. Almost identical numbers.
Yeah.
Does he do that for Jones? I don't know. Does he make him better? Probably. If he can stay on the field. And I've gone through this before with Jones, and this is just for TikTok, so you guys know. But for Jones, rookie year with Schumer, an offensive coach, 24 touchdowns, 12 picks. Only thing that sullied that season was the fumbles that he cleaned up the 2 years after that. 2 years after that, Garrett, year 2000 offense, injuries. He has to stay on the field. But I think with Daboll, I think that offense, Barkley off the ACL, all the guys they have, I don't see why they can't win the division.
I don't see why either. And honestly, if I've learned anything in the past, teams that don't pull out all their bells and whistles in preseason, it's usually for a reason. It's usually because they have some shit up their sleeve that people aren't ready for. I think Kenny Galladay's healthy. I think he's primed.
I think so too.
I think he's primed for a major comeback.
Yeah, I think it's all smoke
I got to
and mirrors.
disagree with you guys.
I think Kadarius Toney is outrageously talented, I think they have a script to get that dude the ball a ton. And I think that Saquon is healthy, and Daniel Jones is slept on. Daniel Jones is a much better quarterback than people give him credit for. I know I've given him a lot of shit in the past because he likes to trip over his two dumb ass
He
feet.
also outran the whole defense for 80 yards. I'm just saying that's what's lost in that.
Okay, let me just offer a differing opinion.
But he also couldn't get up in time to score either.
Let me just offer a differing opinion because you're right. It's possible that that's what's going on.
Yes.
It is. The other possibility is
That the Browns and they go 0-3 in the preseason.
when Kevin. Well, they didn't go 0-3, so right there you're wrong. But Kevin Galladay.
Oh, that's not his name.
Is that his brother? Yeah, his brother
What's
sucks.
his name?
Kenny.
Kenny G. That's right, Kenny G. I should
All right,
know
so
that.
you should just
Kenny.
okay.
Kenny, in his limited snaps,
Yeah.
looked awful. He looked.
I
There was
agree.
zero separation. He did not look like the guy that was in Detroit. That was, and he never was a speed guy. He was a big, good route runner.
Okay.
Or was it Matt Stafford? Because Matt Stafford has a history of making receivers look great.
Like
Cooper Kupp broke the record. Listen,
Calvin Johnson.
yeah, Kelvin. Yeah, right. There we go.
I'm pretty sure it was the other way around there, buddy.
Maybe not. But now we know. Now we know.
Can I make one point about Galladay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with you. But in his best year, his best season,
11
in Detroit,
touchdowns, looked amazing.
he was one of the worst receivers in the league at separation. That's not his game.
No, you're right. But
So,
I
mean,
get
it's
it.
a stat, but it's not really irrelevant.
Yeah,
stat
but
to him.
so like to me, Galladay is a similar receiver to Amari. Amari's he's not the fastest, but he's gonna separate through route running. David Bell's another example. Keenan Allen, another example. I just didn't see it.
Well, that's not what he does, though.
Well, how does he get open?
He's a jump. He doesn't get open.
Keenan gets separation.
He's a jump.
Keenan gets, but
No,
he was another
no.
guy with a bad pro day who they said wasn't going to be quick enough in the
Keenan's
NFL.
shifty. Galladay, when he was good in Detroit, he's a high point jump. You give him a chance.
I'm
That's
hoping.
what
I've got him on my.
Last year, this is what I'm talking about with Garrett. Last year, they gave him 4 downfield throws all season.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
It was a terrible
So
offense.
they didn't let him play the game. So I think there's a chance that he's
hope.
just stiff and old.
I've got him.
I think there's that chance.
I've got him on plenty of teams. And Kadarius, I'm looking at that game where he had 187 yards. It's got to be a rookie record.
Yeah. Well, he's
He's got
deal.
But why are they talking up? Why are in most fantasy leagues they're actually saying that a 5'8" Wandell could be the number 1 receiver in New York?
That's
not
all
happening.
that smoke and mirrors bullshit.
Or maybe it's not.
It's not happening.
He's not. Well, he's not big enough to last the season. I think.
It's not that either. I mean, Sterling Shepard was out the whole preseason.
And he's
gonna
coming
be the
back.
slot. He's
And-
back.
and
back
and
last
he's
season.
Mr. Consistency.
And I think there's some truth to what you're saying. I think there's something to Dable. They held the back. They didn't show anything in the preseason.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of teams that didn't. I mean, this preseason was different than most.
Well, we talked about that.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, Minnesota played nobody. The Browns played hardly any of their starters. The same thing with
Because they don't have any.
L.A. Rams.
Yeah.
You know,
Think about Stephon Diggs before he came to Buffalo. Think about what they did with him and turned him into a top 5 wide receiver for that year at least, right?
And he was the guy that came out of Maryland and he was drafted in the 3rd or 4th round, wasn't he?
And he showed flashes in Minnesota. He was a good player, but he wasn't what he was when he went to Buffalo.
he wasn't an earth scorcher his rookie year. His sophomore season, he followed that up decently, and I don't think it was until his 3rd season that
I just think Daboll's going to know what to do with those guys, and we are going long here. Okay.
I better check that before I get.
So
fucking
we're gonna
roasted.
pick one league winner. Let's make this quick. I think because we went long there. I'm sorry about that, but that was on my heart.
yeah, get a lot
It's
in
on
your
my
heart.
heart. I'm just saying.
So why don't you go first and pick your league winner?
My league winner is gonna be Justin Herbert,
Okay.
and I think he's gonna have that kind of
Herbert.
year. I think he's gonna throw over 40 touchdowns. I think he's gonna kind of be not Peyton Manning-esque, but the closest we get this year. I think Mahomes is going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be as good as he's been. I think losing Hill's going to hurt a bit. Yeah, and who's the other? Josh Allen. I think there will be a little drop off from Daboll leaving, and just the year he had last year. I think it has to regress a little bit. I think Air Bear's poised to be that guy. I think
Well,
he's the
I
league
think
winner.
they've got great running backs in Buffalo too now, so they don't probably need to throw.
I think they want to run too.
Okay, so I would say, and I'm feeling this more and more every day, but it's rare that you would say that a rookie could be a league winner. But I think Dameon Pierce, he
a solid
could,
pick.
He could be that guy.
He looks so good.
Well, he looked so good, and the fact that they cut Marlon Mack, who also looked real. Marlon looked like he had his speed again.
I mean, when you have a guy that averages 8 yards per touch in the preseason, I mean, you have to take that a little seriously.
Well,
I don't
he
give a
just
shit
did
who
it.
he's going out there against. They're all still professionals.
Well, and he did it. People are undervaluing, I think, the Texans. Their line is rated in the top 15, so their line's improved. I think they've got 2 solid running backs with Nico and with Brandon Cooks. I like
wide
Davis
receiver,
Mills.
wide receiver.
Yeah, sorry, wide receiver. I like Davis Mills. So all of that's going to give, him some room to run.
Yeah.
And he's a decent receiver out of the backfield. So I would say I think he has a chance to be a league winner.
And what about you?
I think that's pretty solid. I'm going to go with the guy that I mentioned earlier, man. I love Josh Jacobs. I think he's a league winner. Where you're getting him as your RB3. You're getting him as your RB4 if you're in dual flex leagues. And it's great that they just let go of Kenyon Drake. So what does that tell you, right? So they have a rookie backing him up. The other rookie out of Georgia, Zamir White, who showed enough in the preseason. I mean, he looked really explosive too. I mean, if you're going to have somebody back up Jacobs, that's a very good guy to do it. But they let go of their pass catching back in Kenyon Drake, which tells me that Jacobs, who's been a very underrated receiver in his 3 years in the league,
And he's been
year-
a great touchdown
Last
guy
year, I
every
told
year.
Rocky I was trying to trade him to him. Last year, he doubles the receptions from the year before.
Yeah. I mean, he went from 27 to 45 to 64 targets, and it's going to expand even more this year. I think now bringing Devontae in, you have Darren Waller, you have Hunter Renfrow, who's established, and you have Carr, who is just salivating to let this offense fly. Jacobs is going to be huge. Jacobs is going to be able to rip off long runs. He's going to get a lot of goal line work, and he's going to be that third down pass catching back too. So in PPR leagues, he's going to score you a lot of reception points too.
Yeah, that's it. He's off the table, right?
You're getting him in like the 8th round of drafts.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're right. He's always been a decent touchdown guy, anyways. So any greater production, he's going to be
part
even
of it.
better.
Yeah.
So Saquon for Josh Jacobs.
I think it's off the table, buddy. You had your chance last night. All right. Well, that's the show. We went long, without Zach. I think it was a good show.
It was.
And I think Zach missed out, especially on my grinding gears segment.
Yeah.
But I just want to remind you guys that we thank you for watching. We're also changing the brand and the logo. It's going to be this show, I think right now, the working title is Guys on Sports, right?
Guys on Sports.
Similar to Guys on Drafts, and the network's going to be changing to the Guys on Network or the Go Network.
Yeah. Because it could be girls on.
It could be girls on.
Yeah, it's just the Go Network. Let your mind work it out how it wants to.
Perfect. All right. So please, as for now, follow us on our socials on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at UFL Podcast. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. If you're not, find us on YouTube at the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. We're close to 5,000 followers on YouTube. We're close to 5,000 on TikTok too. We want to hit 5,000.
I want to hit these numbers.
And
help
we
us do
also
that.
we talked about it a little bit too. We're going to be doing a partnership here with Chalkboard. So you will find direct links through our socials.
Our
I do
socials,
believe
yes.
to get to Chalkboard and sign up, become a member there too. Every bit helps there.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys. We love you. Peace.
Peace.